Hey everyone, what's up? This is Dr. Charlie Johnson, physical therapist. Hope you are doing well. And in this video, I want to talk about how sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. And every day, as I work with people all around the world with back, butt, and sciatica problems, I see how quickly the attitude can change. On the good days, they're feeling really happy, and then symptoms come back a little bit, and everything falls apart. People crash mentally and emotionally. The disappointment, right? Hope on the good days, despair on the bad days, right? It's really easy to get discouraged when you have a bad day or a bad moment, right? When you feel like you're finally making progress if you've had some type of back, butt, sciatica issue for so long, and then you feel like, gosh, what happened, right? What did I do wrong? Oh my gosh, am I back to square one? I hope it doesn't go back to where it was, right? Is this just going to be another treatment that fails? All these thoughts start rushing back into your mind. And so I want to give you a few tips in this video to help kind of turn these moments into opportunities for growth and learning. Because the interesting thing about pain is that if you've been stuck in it for any amount of time, it really helps you to, in the moment, you're frustrated, right? But also to appreciate all that there is in life, to be grateful for. And when you can get to the other side of pain, I can't tell you how many people reach out to me and say, wow, man, like in the moment, it was terrible, okay? It was a really awful time in life, but actually I'm really grateful for my pain experience. It's taught me to be more self-compassionate. It's taught me to be more optimistic, right? More grateful, just overall more of a positive energy, if you will, all right? And so there's a blessing to the curse, right? And so sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. I want you to challenge yourself to see setbacks. So maybe you've been doing well, or maybe you feel like you found something and then, man, you have a rough day. I want to challenge you to see setbacks as opportunities. All right, and ask yourself, instead of saying, oh my gosh, like here we go again, see, nothing works for me. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What opportunity can be had from a little flare-up here? And you don't do this from a place of trying to figure it out and say, oh my gosh, what did I do? What did I do wrong? What happened there, right? Just ask yourself, hey, what can I learn? Because if you've gotten good, here's the cool news, you'll get good again, all right? If you've gotten bad and you've had a little setback, you might have a little bit of a setback again. Recovery, as I always tell people, especially if you've been in pain for a while, is not a straight line. There are ups and downs, but at the end of the day, we're always trying to head in the right direction. So instead of looking at things day to day, look at things week to week. If you had the right approach, the goal is weekly to see progress. But if you've had this for a really long time, you've got a lot of other stuff to unpack. Maybe it's every couple weeks, right, that you're looking to see if you're headed in the right direction. So ask yourself, when you have a setback, when you have a little bit of a flare-up, when you're having a bad day, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? There's always an opportunity, all right? Look for the silver lining, all right? The next thing that I would challenge you to do is celebrate the wins. It's easy when everything's going well, even outside of pain, in life, with our health, with our relationships, to just kind of take for granted the fact that we get to get up every day. We get to maybe do things we enjoy. Even if we're in pain, we can't do everything we want to do. Maybe we're still able to spend time with people we love, right? When I say celebrate the wins, we kind of just expect to get better, right? We're getting better. We're like, woohoo, this is great, right? But that's expected. And we have a bad day. We like to celebrate the downs by getting down on ourselves, by building or by beating ourselves up, by being judgmental, by really hitting the lows, all right? But celebrate the wins. Even if you're 10% better, right? What has that allowed you to do? What can you be grateful for? If you don't celebrate the wins along the way, and you don't appreciate the journey, and you're just looking to always get to the destination, then you're going to be in it for the long haul, all right? And so how can you better celebrate the wins? How can you better celebrate the good days that you do have, even if you've been in pain, and even if those days you still do have some pain? How can you best celebrate those wins? So far, what can I learn from having a little bit of a bad day or a setback? And again, how can I still see the silver lining, and how can I celebrate the wins? Even if they're not that big, even the small wins. Hey, I walked 10 steps further today. Hey, I wasn't able to work out in the gym today, but it's been years since I've walked into one. Right? Maybe I'm not able to swim. We always look at things that we want to be able to do, and we measure. That's the yardstick, right? Well, I used to be able to run 10 miles, but now I can only run 1. Ugh. Right? Well, hey, a month ago you couldn't run any. Right? And so make sure you kind of look backwards too, where you came from, and appreciate and celebrate the wins along the way. The next thing I think that dictates people's success more than anything, is I work with people, again, back, butt, sciatica problems, people who just threw their back out picking something up. People have been in pain for 10, 15, 20. Gosh, the lady had just started working with 45 plus years. And so people from 4 hours of pain to 40 years of pain, right? And what's interesting is that you could have 2 people with 40 years of pain, and one has a really strong, meaning we'll say good attitude, productive attitude, one that's going to aid them in resolving their pain. And another one will have a sour attitude, right? Life is learning, and so is this process of being in pain, all right? And so at the end of the day, realize that your attitude will dictate your results. If you ask me, in my experience, after working with lots of people, probably more so than anything, all right? If you're willing to follow a systematic process, and you're willing to stick in it and be consistent with showing up and putting in the effort, the only way to fail is to quit, all right? And so your attitude is dictated by a combination of 3 things: your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. You can think things consciously, either good or bad, positive or negative, right? You can then decide to get emotionally involved with those things, negative or positive. And then guess what? That emotional mind dictates your behavior and or the actions that you take. And if you're thinking negative stuff, focusing on that which you can't do, instead of focusing on that you went a little bit further today, right, in some way, instead of celebrating the win, well, then your emotions are going to be negative as well. Your actions or your behaviors are going to show. Right? Maybe you're going to sit on the couch, not do what you're supposed to do because that's how you're thinking and feeling. So maybe you're not going to show up. You're going to take the day off. You're going to sit in that negative emotional state, and that forms negative attitude, which again is not productive. Because thoughts, feelings, actions, what do they dictate? Your results. All right? And this stuff is really tough. Just know that you can do it. All right? Regardless of where you are in the pain experience or along your journey, whether you just hurt yourself, whether you're in a lot of pain watching this right now and you're laying on your bed because you can't move very well, this too shall pass. Not today, probably not tomorrow, all right? But if you have a process and you can have faith in understanding what that process is instead of just randomly trying things, and you can be systematic in it, and you can be patient, and you can celebrate the wins along the way, not just the bad days, but you can celebrate the good days too. And you realize that you have a conscious choice to choose your thoughts, good, bad, or indifferent, to get emotionally involved with those thoughts, good, bad, or indifferent, right? And that will dictate your behavior, and that will dictate your actions. That forms your attitude, and overall, that attitude and everything involved is going to dictate your results. So what types of results do you want? Well, you probably want to keep moving in the right direction. You probably want, quote unquote, good results. But at the end of the day, you've got to be careful getting attached to that outcome, especially as you go throughout the process, getting attached to that destination. I just want to get there. You've got to understand it's a process. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. You're not going to get there. There's a process to get there. It's a process to get feeling better, all right? And if you don't understand that, then every day that you're not there won't be good enough, all right? That's all I got, all right? See setbacks as opportunities. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Sometimes you win. Sometimes you learn, right? There is no such thing as failure. There is only feedback. And if you can see it as that, then you can stay very scientific. You can stay emotionally stable, much easier said than done, instead of trying to focus, I just want to be there, and anything that is not that thing which I want is not good enough. Then again, you'll be able to stick solid throughout the process, okay? Hopefully this is useful. Check your attitude, if you will, right? In a good way. I mean that with all respect, because I know when you're in pain, you tend to go a bit insane. Again, not your fault. You probably don't have the clarity that maybe you would normally, and it's much easier said than done. But hopefully these tips, when you're having a bad day, if you're watching this, right, and or if you're having a good day, will help you kind of push forward. Okay. All right. So again, if you are interested in learning more about the process that we use to teach people all around the world with back, butt, and sciatica problems how to use their mind and movement as medicine, go ahead, click somewhere above this. It'll give you access to a free workshop where I start to share what that process looks like, some tips and tricks to sort of shift the way that you approach solving this. It's a little bit of an outside-the-box approach we take, because lots of times the inside-the-box approach, the very traditional approach, just go do this sheet of exercises, doesn't work very well. And that's because it doesn't empower you to resolve the problem. It creates dependency, and that causes you to rely on others to fix you. And that's what I don't want for you. All right. So again, this is Dr. Charlie. Thanks so much for checking out the channel. Give me a thumbs up if this was helpful, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks.